Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in the pristine, untouched wilderness of the Calmlands. You can come round over here, and I really hope that this header fits. Right, let's hook you on. There we go. Start that one up. Okay, it works. We're able to use it. That's absolutely fine. So we've at least got that. Yes, it's not the one that we wanted, but on the plus side, we do now have a combine that is in tip-top condition, which means that we don't lose. Because I think that with a combine, when it loses condition, you actually lose a little bit of crop yield, and we really don't want that. So some of the crop, like we could potentially have had a better yield out of our fields because the combine should have been in better condition than it is right now. Now that is a little bit of a jolly nuisance, and I don't like that, but there's nothing that we can do about it. Like, we're just going to suck it up and get on with it, because there is literally nothing that we can do about that. Now I'm going to see if we can get into the field through this gate over here. We went to all the trouble of making this one. I mean, yes, you can go out of this gate with the... Wow, look at that tailback. That was quick. We can go in and out of this one with the tractor and trailer. And that was the principal reason for having that gateway, is so that we could get out of the field with the tractor and trailer and head off to... Okay, we can get in here easily. That's good. And like, take stuff up to the mill. Start you up. Now, I'm thinking the John Deere one would probably have been a mistake, just because of the way the the ground is and how tight to the ground that one was. So I'm just going to cut a couple of little slices into the edge here, so that we've got room to just start maneuvering the combine round, because we're going to need to be able to do that. We need to be able to get round this corner. So I'll bring you over that way. Steady. I'll do this carefully. There. Right. And we'll leave those gates open, because I'm thinking it will bring some of the grain up round here. So I'm going to do 3 times around the outside edge of the fields, just to start off with, and that will sort of just give us the first bits that we want, and then we'll be able to use the hired help after that. So I will of course have added back the money that we lost just quickly testing out that John Deere header. That it would have been nice, because it would have been 2 meters wider than this one, and we'd have been able to get through the field a whole lot quicker. But this is what we've got, and this is what we'll work with, and I don't think this is going to be bad. I think this will be alright. We're also... we're going to get enough food. We should also be able to get that garden going. My only concern with the garden is, does it have an option for a water-only thing? Like... Right, wait a minute. I just want to show you this, because if you have a look in the construction bits... Let's just move away from there. And we go to production, greenhouses. So we've got these right here. So we've got greenhouses with seed and fertilizer. Okay. Now, these are great. That is not the one. I've got a different one active on the other, on the time-lapse series. And it's really, really good, because you can have these, but it's got all kinds of recipe options in it, which are fantastic. This one does produce quite a few different goods. So we've got various options. But what I don't know, it takes goods and transforms them into different products. It doesn't say if we have to put in the seed and the manure and the water. You've either got to put in seed, dung, and water, and use that to be able to get the crop, or you put in just water and you get less crop. I've got a different mod that you can produce various different crops. It's greenhouse ones, and you can put in just water, or you can go and buy lime and seed and also put in the manure as well, and you get double the yield. And it's really good. I really, really like that one. But for this series, I kind of like this open air garden, provided it works how I want it to work. It's only good if it works the way I want it to work, but we still need 2,000 euros to be able to actually have that one. So, I mean, these other ones here, that you got small greenhouses, they're also 2,000 euros. So, yeah. I just want to show you that. So, there is a couple of different options that we potentially have that we could go and use. And it just kind of depends on what we want to do a little bit later on as to, like, how we progress with it. Whether we do go for the open air thing, or if I try and, you know, just test out that other one. Because the other one is really, really good. Now, what I want to do here is cut a little bit more of a section here, so I've got room to properly turn the combine round. Otherwise, we're going to struggle. This is genuinely going to be a struggle. Let me just jump out a minute. It's out. There. For some reason I thought that was a sliding gate. It's not a sliding gate at all. No sliding involved. Let's bring it back up here. And round we go. Like that. Right, now I'm getting a little bit more room. Bring things in. And a little bit more room still. So I'm not sure if I did properly gather everything there. Like sometimes you get a visual of it gone with the game, but it's not actually. I went back down there, but nope, it seems to be fine. And now we can carry on round. I am glad I repaired the combine. Because not only do you... Well, I think you lose some grain. I don't know if it's the header that causes you to have a yield loss, or the combine itself. I'm pretty sure the combine itself does also have a horsepower loss. So potentially that is why we couldn't power that John Deere header. But we didn't have the money to do a repair and buy that one anyway. That just simply wasn't going to be a valid option for us. So we kind of need to just work without that one. What should I say we got? 2,600 to come in. 2,600. So that would, if we spent 2 grand on the garden, we could spend. So we've got the 2,000 that we spend on the garden. Oops. And then we have 700 euros left over. Potentially I could get a little tiny bit more in the way of eggs by the end of the day, which means I might have available, I don't know, another 1,000. So we could go to, we could get sort of, I'm just trying to work out in my head. So we've got, we could get like 700 euros, and we could also get that garden. And that means that the garden could start producing sugar beet almost straight away, which means that we could make up a little tiny bit of sugar beet, a little tiny bit of pig food in the mill up here, which means that we wouldn't need to put individual crops in for the pigs. And I'd really, really, really like to avoid putting in individual crops for the pigs. I want to just have the proper pig feed in there. I think that would be a lot better if we could just have proper pig food. And we have got the potential to do that. Maybe that's what we need to do. I'll take this one all the way down to the bottom. Right, now that we're on the second round, we definitely want at least 3 rounds on this, but we're going to have almost a full tank by the time we get down to the bottom there. It's going to be at least 4,000 litres, so we won't have enough space in the combine to get all the way around again. which means that we want to empty out down the bottom here. And then that corn could go straight to the mill up there. We could also... Actually, I might be able to get back up the top, and then we can empty out up there. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, we will. We'll be able to. So we can empty out at the top. The grain can be just taken straight across and put into the mill. We can also take up some barley and some canola. We've got both in storage. That can also be taken up to the mill. We'll have the pig food recipe selected. Let's bring you back round here like this. The pig food recipe will be selected. I don't know how much that costs. So look. We want to go in here. That one. Right. Corn pig food. Corn, barley, canola, and then it needs 10 sugar beet, which is quite a lot of sugar beet, actually. It's 24 euros per month, which is not a lot, but we do get 2,000 cycles per month. These ones here, only that's 480. 2,400 for that one. This, oh, I see, it's because it's a bigger chunk. It's basically, it is balanced out. Sunflower is 3,600, but yeah, that's about the same. That's balanced out nicely. Oh, I see. Olive oil, you end up getting less. You can't do as much per month. And it's also more expensive, but it's not a huge amount. These, all three of these are 2,160 cycles per month. So it's 100. So you end up getting 21,000 litres of the stuff in a month, which is pretty good. Right, so we'd be all right, so long as we can get, like, just 100 or so. If we can get 100, maybe 200 sugar beet and get that in quick, then we'd be able to bring that up. The only issue is going to be if that garden only puts out the sugar beet on pallets. Now, there is another option. When you have your production options, you can have it send it to the next place that it's needed, so it might be able to automatically deliver a little bit of sugar beet up to the mill. Now, I'm not going to leave it on that because I don't feel that that is something that we should be doing. I think that we should have to take it up there ourselves. But just for a few hundred litres, it could be literally the same as us loading it in a wheelbarrow and carrying it up there by hand, rather than doing it with a tractor. So I would say that's a valid option, at least to start with, and then we'll do it manually after that. We'll load up the pallets of stuff and we'll take them up there. But also, if it's being done in pallets, we may have to empty the pallets first in order to be able to take them up to the mill, because the mill may not accept them in pallet form. I know some things won't accept, like crops and that, in pallet form. They just don't seem to like it. You've got to empty the pallets first and then you can put them in. But that's just the way it works. As soon as I get up to the end here, actually I've got to keep a close eye on that tank, because that's 4,800, 900, coming up to 5,000 litres. I'm not going to get to the gateway. Ooh. Well, I didn't think I was going to get to the gateway, but now I'm starting to wonder. It's going to be a bit tight. It's going to be very, very tight. 40, 50, 60, 70. I told you it was tight. Let me squeeze in. Go on, a little bit more. And done. Right. Okay, pretty much to the gateway. That's not bad going. So twice round the field and we filled the tank up. I could actually bring that tractor in here. Alright, let's put you there. Put the spout out. It's far enough back. That's good. Right, you can stop there a minute. Actually, I'm just going to shut you off. I'll get the tractor and we'll drive up. So, we've got the corn. I now want to actually do a couple times backwards and forwards. And in order to save us a little bit of time, what I'll do is I'll load up one load here with some of the grain. So I'll go in here like this and So we've got wheat, we've got 11,000 litres of barley, and we've got 7,000 litres of canola. There's no point in keeping any of it down here, so I might as well load everything I can into here and take it straight to the mill, and we can store it at the mill. Because if I don't use it here... oh, wait. Barley would be chicken food. How much do I need for the... What's the conversion? It's 25 to 20. 25 to 20. So for every 2,500, I want 2,000. I've got 7,000. All right, let me tip it back out again. I've got... Yeah, what I need to do is I need to figure out how much barley I want to take up, because I want to keep some of the barley here for the chicken feed. That's all I'm thinking, is that we want to keep a little bit for the chicken food. You drop back down again, and then I do this. So barley is on 11,000, and canola's on 7,800. So that's going to be 10,000. About 10,000 for the other one. So in theory, we want roughly 10,000 litres of barley. I'm not going to take that much. I'm going to take 8,000. There. I'll go with that much. And then I'll put all the canola up there. And then any canola that's left over, I will turn that into oil, I think. Next year, according to our crop rotation, I shouldn't be using any... well, I'm not going to be growing any barley. Am I? I got canola growing in the big field. Wow. This tractor is terrible at the moment. I should probably use the other one. I just like this tractor. It's more maneuverable. I got canola growing in the other field. I'm supposed to be growing... let me bring up our map. Canola growing in the other field. I've got... field 1 is going to be corn, and then this field here is going to be oats. So this will be a cash crop in here. So I have no barley being planned next year. After that, I'll be having barley growing every year. You know what? I'm not going to be able to get up that bit. It's just not going to do it. This tractor has just not got any power to it at the moment. We know why. It's because of the whole issue with not having enough money to repair it, but that's fine. At the moment, I'm trying to think of ways to spend every last penny that we've got. But I want this garden, and then I can make our own balanced pig food, which will then go into the pigs, and will... Well, it's going to end up being a good thing. Long story short, it will be a good thing. That's what we want to be able to do. So I'm going to bring you in here, start overloading this barley right into here. I've left that cover open the whole of the year. Probably not a good thing to do. So that's going in there, and I want to have a look through. So we've got wheat, barley, it's 8,300. Everything else has been processed. I've got flour there and canola oil, which is sort of out. Pig food down there is the one that we're going to want. So I want corn pig food. That's the one that we'll be selecting. And I have the barley here. Okay. So far, so good. So then I go back over here. And I did it like this because I was thinking I'd be driving up that hill. But I'm not going to be able to drive up that hill very well. So what I will do instead is I will go over here. And I will park the tractor there. And then I will start up the combine. And I will reverse back up round. Tip into the trailer. And then I'm going to like open up a little bit more. Be a little bit careful here. Open up a little bit more of the field here so that there's enough room for the tractor to turn round. So that's what I'm hoping to be. So dump all of that in, and that's 2 lots of grain. I then want to get that market garden, and I want to get that one done as soon as I can. I have one more trip that I'll need to do with this tractor and trailer. And that is just so that I can get the canola up here as well. I'll get all of the canola that we've got in storage, and I'll bring that up. If I like, maybe I could make another pallet or something of that. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. What I will do is I'll start this one up. And I'll do that. Then I'll also reverse back up here. Why are you revving and slowing and revving and slowing? It's a bit weird. Then I will drive in here. Might be just enough room for us to turn around. That's kind of what I'm hoping to be able to do. We'll drive, we'll go on around the field. We'll do one more pass around the field, and then I can unload the extra grain into the trailer. So then we don't need to worry about it for a minute. And I want to get that garden built. That's literally gonna be my next thing. Now we're on 3 o'clock at the moment, so we can't sort of waste too much time. We should be okay. I don't think that we're gonna have any problem getting this harvest done. This one more time around the field will also give us enough of the headland that the combine will be able to turn round all it needs to. The hired help will be able. The hired help should be just fine doing all the rest of the work in here. I don't think there's going to be any issues with things getting stuck, not having enough room to turn around, all the usual nonsense that we'd expect. I don't think we've got any sort of expectations of issues with that. Down you go. And then I want to be able to... we've got plenty of room for turning around here. That's going to be fine. And the main issue is going to be able to whether or not we're going to have enough room to turn here, like with the third pattern. It should be enough room. So look, it sort of looks like maybe I need to do once more around. I'll decide that in a minute. The garden. So if I can get that one set up. Actually, I'm still concerned that I'm not going to be able to use the garden properly. I'm going to get the other mod installed, and I'm going to have that one ready. So if the open air garden doesn't work and we don't have an option for just water, and we have to have manure, and we're going to need manure, and we're going to need seeds. I think it is. I'm assuming it's fertilizer or the manure, and if we haven't got the one. If there's no dung available from pigs, then we can go and buy fertilizer. But this is an organic farm, so I can't buy fertilizer. I'm not going to go buying fertilizer. I mean, you could argue that yes, it's organic fertilizer, but I'm not doing that. I'm not taking that option. It's either going to be homegrown organics, or it's not going to happen. That's what we'll say. I like that challenge, and I do with a lot of the series I don't put artificial fertilizer on. That is because I just don't like the stuff. I prefer to have organically grown food if I can. In real life, I don't tend to worry about it too much, but that's mostly because it costs more. If I can get it for a reasonable price, then yeah, I'll go for it. But yeah, it does. Unfortunately, it is usually more expensive, so I'm always a little bit wary of what I'm getting. And also, I've worked on a farm that grew organic food, and the number of loopholes that are available when you're growing organic food that you can... Basically, there's a huge amount of loopholes that organic farmers can use to have their food classed as organic, but they're not using... It's basically not coming... It's not organic. And I know all of these loopholes. I've seen them being used, and that it does kind of put me off. Oops. No. It definitely does put me off. I'm going to manually go on around here, actually. You know what? Yeah, I will. We'll drive on down to the bottom. And then this one can just start working with the hired help, and then we can go and work on installing that garden. That's our next thing. So I'm obviously going to need to leave the game, so it'll be another recording session when I come back. I will add back in that money so that we can get the garden, but I'll also make sure I add in the other mod with the other greenhouses, because I know that I can grow the sugar beet with the other greenhouse mods. I can definitely grow sugar beet in that one, and I can do that with just water. So I know that I can do that with just water, and that's kind of like, that's the important bit. You can add in the other bits to it, and you can increase the output of it, but it's the just water bit that is kind of crucial. That's the bit that I want. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, I'm hoping this garden will just do it, and we won't need to worry about that, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm just starting a new recording. I'm also just letting the hired help turn around and start here, and while they can turn around on this bit, it's kind of causing them an issue or two. So what I'm going to do in order to make it just a little bit easier is I'm going to run up the hill here and just cut this piece out like just a little bit wider up here, and that's going to make it a bit easier for them to deal with. And then I'm hoping we will be able to sort things out a bit better. And oh dear. Right, because I've updated the game to 1.8, the steering wheel settings have all reset. Now, fortunately, my key bindings haven't reset, but the actual sensitivity settings have all decided to go and reset themselves. And I changed them yesterday to how they should be for doing some recording, but I was recording time-lapse, so I didn't have my headset plugged in. And now, because I've plugged my headset in, the game has decided, yeah, see, I'm using the accelerator pedal at the moment, and it won't go to 100% on the accelerator. It only goes to like 30% on the base settings, which is really weird. I don't know why it does it. But yeah, because I've now got my headset plugged in as well, it's decided that, oh, well, we've got to do something a bit different, and we're going to just not let me play the game. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know why it has to go and change those settings, and also change those settings for when I have a headset plugged in as well, because, like, that's making a big difference to the game. And then on top of that, the sensitivity on the steering wheel has changed. It's gone back to the default for the game. For some reason, they think that the default for the game shouldn't be 1 or 2% of dead zone in the middle. It should be a 14% dead zone, which means that when you try to turn your steering wheel, you get no response at all for quite some time. Right, I'm just going to stop that one there a second. And right, you watch this a minute. You watch. Okay. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.